key points about speech writing. But we come to the final part of the KLT, which is a reflection on what you've done. Now, there is a little bit of overlap between this and part 2 because you need to do an analysis of the effect of the campaign strategies that you've used. So, first of all, just list the strategies you used, then list some of the ones you did not use. I would highly suggest going back to the list of things that you could have chosen from and just put down the 2 things that you in fact did not do. And then you need to do a bit of a comparison. So how are the strategies that you've used similar? In what ways are they different? And then explain which are the most effective. I don't expect you to do this in incredible amounts of detail. Just bust it out, okay? I'm more concerned that you've given me something than, striving for a VH and then burning yourselves out or not getting it in on time. So that's what we're doing for this part 4, okay? There is a second aspect of part 4, though, which is the link back to our civics content. So there is an additional table here that requires you to look at, perhaps you've forgotten what we covered about the rule of law, the separation of powers, and the division of powers. You need to define each of these terms, and you need to give me a brief description about what the hell it has to do with your issue. So, for example, if you are looking at changing the age of criminal responsibility from 10 to 14, you would be looking at something like the rule of law. You talk about the rule of law. Remember, that's the principle whereby all laws apply to everyone. We're all agreed to be bound by the law. So you would talk about how if there was a shift in the age of criminal responsibility, it would mean that, there are certain age groups that aren't necessarily bound by the same laws per se, okay? Separation of powers, remember that means that the people who make the laws and enforce them are separate. You would talk about the fact that Parliament are the ones who have to make a change, but the courts are the ones who have to enforce it. And division of powers talks about, again, who actually has that lawmaking power. So we'd be talking about the fact that, Parliament are the ones who are going to have to be behind this legislative shift. That is a little bit tough and theoretical to do. Just, do your best. Either way, I have linked to you where it says here to the lesson on COGS that covers each of these. Oh my gosh, there's a definition of every single one, and you need to put that in your assignment. Wow, it's almost like Emmy's giving me the answers. My goodness. So don't spend too much time on it, but you just need to bust out a definition of each and a brief link to your issue. You only need to complete these. There is, of course, a challenge task here for the absolute high flyers. COGS page is where it says, here is the info you need. I'll drop the link here for you, Angie. Kapow. But that's it. So no problemo. I'm going to stop recording for now, and I'll upload these to my YouTube channel for those